Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Cruiser with Butcher, and I am here for a story time for y'all. So, we tell y'all all the time, don't get stuck, don't get lost, and if you do get stuck, make sure you have what you need in order to get back home. So, let me tell y'all about a time where we almost got stuck in Cuba. Okay? It was about 5 years ago. We was on the Carnival of Paradise in 2018, I believe. And it went to like 4 different stops. One of our stops though was Cuba, which I thought was so exciting. It was something different. It was a cultural experience. And it really was. Like when we got to the islands, like the architecture of the buildings was different. The buses was different. The cars was old school. I don't mean old school. I mean like old, like 1940s to 50s old school. Like it was definitely a sight to see. It was definitely an experience. So we ended up walking through the town, at first to get to the tourist extractions, and that was a nice sight to see, especially because you're dealing with foreign people. I ain't gonna lie, I felt uncomfortable at sometimes because they had construction workers out there, and they was just whistling like, woo, like, hey, Sade, like, hey, how you doing? But I kept pushing though, but it was still funny to me. But let me get to it. So we found a tour, right, that would show us the town, give us a historical, theoretical experience of it, and then they also, like we always do on tours, go to the beach. So the whole time we was on the tour, we like, okay, where the ganja, where the trees, where the spiff, we trying to give it to them in every different language. And every time, I kid you not, every time we mentioned it and said it, all they did, it was hand gestures. They was like, handcuffs, handcuffs, no. You mention it, handcuffs. So we like, okay, cool. So we got this one tourist, right? He was real cool. Took us around town, gave us a whole. So the tour guide, he took us to this place that was real cool. He was like, he don't know where it was at, but he can take us to a beach where we can find someone where it was at. So forgive me, but I forget the name of the beach. I'll look it up later and I'll tell you guys later. But when we got to the beach, right? Again, everybody was like, no. Handcuffs. So we like, okay, let's just go to the beach and chill, do what we do. We got a couple of drinks, got a pina colada, got some, well, what we get all the time? What is it, Bacardi? Not Bacardi, but rum. We got some rum. And I kid you not, to this very day, I hate drinking rum when we go to different islands because every rum is not the same. So we got some rum. We got messed up, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. We got messed up. So we get to the beach, and as soon as we get to the beach, they like, it's $5 for each chair, $10 for the umbrella, and they didn't even have none available. But I do my research. I'm smart. So we came with our own tent. I kid you not. I had bought a tent, made sure it fit in the suitcase. I brought it with us. And so when we went to the beach, I had that tent available. So because we didn't want to spend, we just found an empty spot, popped that tent right up, zipped down and everything. Like we had our privacy and all. So we used that instead of buying the chairs and the tent. And we chilled, at least I chilled out. You know, the mister, he went to go find what he was looking for. He found somebody that said they had it. And you know, when you go to Colombia, I kid you not, it's a language barrier. So if you don't know Spanish, it's gonna be a hard time explaining what it is that you want, what you're looking for. So he found somebody, that's the mister, with the language barrier that understood what he was talking about, right? So he was like, oh, they know where it's at, you know, they gonna take us to their town to get it. They gonna show us all hospitality, all of that. And you know me, I'm antsy on everything. I was very nervous. Like, are you sure? Like, can you trust these people? Like, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it, but if you comfortable with it because you my protector, then hey, we gonna roll with the flow. So we roll with the flow. And we was getting ready to go, right? And it was two dudes that we met. I'm gonna post pictures and everything. And then when we was getting ready to go, they was like, oh, we gonna call our girls. Because I was the only girl. So they was like, we gonna call our girls. They gonna come through. So we ended up having to get two different cabs, right? So all the boys went into one cab, all the girls went into one cab, and kid you not, we all was drinking too at the same time. So when we get to the location of a spot, we are like in a dead smack of the in-town of Cuba, like the minority environment of Cuba. Everybody speaks Spanish. Nobody speaks English. Like, we're the eyeballs. We're the foreigners, I guess. That's how I felt. So we chilling, kicking it, whatever. And they did. It took him a minute to go get what he was looking for. Eventually, though, he got what he wanted. So after like a minute, a couple hours or so of kicking it, we drunk. I kid you not, we were so drunk. He like, we was getting ready to go. And the mister checked his pockets and was like, I'm missing some money. I'm like, you sure? Like, check all your pockets. Let's check the bag, you know. Let's not just come to assumptions. You know me, trying to be reasonable. And he like, nah, fuck that. These niggas stole from me. Who out the bam? So, him being drunk, he was mad as up here. He was like up there with it. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm trying to bring him back down to the level because number one, we in a country we ain't never been to before. We don't understand any language barriers. And then on top of that, who's to say that they really did? I don't know if they did or not. I mean, I don't know. Oh my God, the whole situation flipped from being on some chill, kicking it mode to being on some animosity, like scarcity type. That's why I say you gotta be careful where you go. I kid you not, you gotta be careful where you go. So, I'm gonna give y'all a real scenario, right? So, when he found out that he felt like he was robbed, right? My main thought was to get back to the boat. Like, kid you not, think about it. It's like 3:30, almost 4 o'clock. The boat leaves at 4:30. Well, you got to be back on the boat at 4:30. The boat leaves at 5 o'clock. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever been stranded on an island before, then you know it comes with a lot of different problems. You got to pay for your flight to get back either to the next port, if they let you back on the boat, or you gotta find a way to get back home and then figure out how you finna get all your stuff back from the boat. Like, I was trying to go through all of that. So he was so mad. He was so loud. And here it is, we in a town, everybody looking at us. Like like I said, we're the foreigners. So, and we the only ones that speak English. I'm walking down the street, like I saw a cab that was at the corner of the street, and there was no driver in sight. So I'm trying to ask everybody around and stuff. And I said, like, do you know what a driver is? Like, cab driver. Like, I don't know. I didn't know the right proper word to say in their language barrier. So it was hard. And it just so happened that this one guy who was, I don't know if you guys know that they be having these bikes sometimes that'll take you from the port to in town and back. But it was one that was in town. They had like this bike driver. They had the little tent cab or whatever. Like you on a horse carriage or whatever. But it's, I guess you could call it a bike carriage. So he was like, yeah, I'll take you back to the boat. $20 and their money was $10 in my US dollars. So I told him I didn't even have the cash on me, y'all. I had a card, but I had cash on the boat. So I had to convince him, like, man, I promise you, if you take us back, I kid you not, I will go on the boat, I will get your cash and I bring it back to you. I only have a card, and y'all don't take my card that's out here. I had to beg him, like literally beg him to take us back to that boat. Otherwise, we was gonna be stuck in Cuba the whole time. Y'all know when people get drunk, they start talking delusional. They say whatever they want to say. So the whole rad back. He doing us a favor, and this nigga saying, nah, fuck them. They stole my money. No, it is up there. Well, yeah, I'm sitting here doing like every time he's saying something, I'm like, shut up. He doing us a favor by taking us back to the boat. Shut up. I kid you not, I was so scared. I swear I thought I was gonna be stuck in Cuba. I thought we was gonna be left in Cuba, and I didn't know what was gonna happen after that. Real talk. That man took us all the way back to the port. It was even a section where he couldn't even like pull all the way into the port. He had to stop at a certain spot. And I had told him, I'm like, man, I swear, I'm finna take him on the boat, go get your money, and bring it back to you. I could have finessed him and just never came back off the boat. But you know what? He did me a solid favor. He got me back to that boat safe and sound. It was right for me to get him that money. And it was not only was right for me to get him that money, it was right for me to tip him on top of that. Because he did not have to do that. And he did. And I'm so glad he did. Because if he didn't, I kid you not, we would have been stuck in the middle of Cuba and I wouldn't have known not 1 ounce of where we were, how to get back to any place, none of it. I kid you not. I was terrified. It goes to show you got good people out here. No matter where you go, there's good people. He did me right. He did us right. And you know what the funny thing is? I ain't gonna lie. We was so drunk, right? We had both just bought brand new Jordans. Different colors. My pair, his pair. And we never put our shoes back on from the beach. So when we got back to the boat, right, we was like, where's our shoes? We was so drunk, we couldn't even remember where we had put our shoes. So at some point, we was like, you know, after thinking about it for a while, we was like, fuck it, you know. I'm telling you, let's just go to sleep. We went to, I kid you not, we had to sleep that mess out. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell y'all a secret. Let me give y'all some insight. He had got so drunk. He got so drunk. By the time we got on the boat, he was still mad about thinking they had stole his money, right? And then when he found out, okay, I'll be right there. I'm coming. When he found out that we couldn't find our shoes, oh my God, he was so livid. He was so livid. He was so livid that he was loud. And he was so loud to the fact that like a neighbor, like a person in the room next to us, called security. And they actually came. And they like pounded him into the room. And I tried to go back to the room because I think I was looking for my phone or something. And I lost my phone that day too. They was like, no, just let him sleep. They was like, he's asleep now. The door's open. We're going to stay here and watch for a while. He sleep. Let him sleep. Go up to the Lido deck. Get some lunch. Whatever. You know, give him some time. Whatever the case may be. I did. I even went to, I ain't gonna lie, I went to the Serenity room. The Serenity area. And I laid in one of their canvases. And the breeze felt so good, I fell asleep. I am not gonna lie. And that was like the best sleep I have ever had. I woke up because it was people being loud behind my canvas. So at that time, I went back to the room. He was still asleep. But I was still looking for my phone. I couldn't find it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just, I just lay down in the bed, you know. I held him. You know, I still love my man at the end of the day. But it wasn't funny at that time, but now that I think about it, that shit was funny as hell. We fell asleep, and I kid you not, we both woke up maybe like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And we were still looking for our shoes. They couldn't even find it. And it just so happened that the closet door was open, and he looked down and was like, oh, look, Monique, you got my shoes. It was at the bottom of the closet. So I'm like, man, if your shoes right there, where the fuck is my shoes? I'm sorry. Well, yeah. But yeah, that's how it happened. Like, where's my shoes? Both of our shoes was down there. We was so drunk that we forgot that when we came back into the room, we put our shoes in the bottom of the closet, in the back of the closet. And that's why we thought we had lost our shoes on my island. I kid you not. Now that I can reconcile what actually happened, it's a funny story. And I thought I just needed to share that with y'all. Oh my God. I'm telling you, if you do not ever go to a different country where you do not know the language, and definitely, most definitely, 100%, do not be so drunk and incoherent to where you can't find your stuff. And to be honest, I'm telling you, that was a scarcity experience. But I guess you can say it was a scarcity experience. They had to be learned because we ain't never put ourselves in that predicament since then. But overall, Cuba was a beautiful place to see. It was a totally different experience. It takes you back in time. It's a totally different culture. And I kid you not, as soon as you get off the boat, you're gonna be like, oh my God. I feel like this is Back to the Future. At least that's how it was for me. I don't know how you would look at it, but it definitely took me back into time. Based off of my history that I've been learning. I had that experience to actually see the history and not just look at it in books and learn and read about it. So don't get lost in the sauce. That's all I can say. But still enjoy yourself. It's still a vacation. But just don't get lost trying to find what you're looking for. Because what you're looking for may be on a different island. Might be even on a boat. Just don't go through that extra mile trying to get lost to find it. That's my boochie tip to y'all. Have a good night.